This is Abraham Lincoln. He was the 16th president of America, and he was president from March 4th, 1861 to April 15th, 1865. See, Abraham Lincoln, he's been nicknamed, his by name was Honest Abe, the Rail Splitter, or even the Great Emancipator. He's the 16th president of the United States, and he absolutely preserved the Union during the American Civil War, and he brought about the emancipation of the slaves. Lincoln was born in a backwoods cabin in Kentucky, and his earliest memories were of his home, and in particular of a flash flood that once washed away the seeds that he helped his father plant. But what kind of man was Lincoln? What did he believe in? What did he want? What did he think? Lincoln is such a controversial figure that I'm not going to tell you what to think about Lincoln. I'm going to read to you the things that he said, his opinions. And by the end of this, hopefully you will have come to your own conclusion on Abraham Lincoln. There was a famous debate with Stephen Douglas for the Senate, and in this, Lincoln very famously said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe the government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free." In that same debate, Lincoln also said, and this is not nearly as famous, "I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. I am not, nor have ever been, in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. There is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. And inasmuch as they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior. And I, as much as any other man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race." Lincoln himself was not pro-slavery or an abolitionist. Personally, he believed that slaves were not the equals of whites, and proposed that after abolishing slavery, that former slaves should be sent back to Africa or to a colony in future Panama. This was a stance that he inherited from his political mentor, Henry Clay. Once the Civil War had started, Lincoln had invited several black ministers to the White House for a discussion. There he told them, this is another direct quote, "You and we are different races. We have between us a broader difference than exists between almost any other two races. I think your race suffers very greatly by living among us, while ours suffers from your presence. In a word, we suffer on each side. This affords a reason and why we should be separated." When speaking to General Grant during the American Civil War, he said, "I think at least 100,000 colored troops can be raised, relieving all the white troops. Every colored soldier who stops a bullet saves a white man's life." Regardless, Abraham Lincoln did use the abolition of slavery as a tactic in the Civil War in order to keep the Union together. He wrote the following letter to Horace Greeley, August 22nd, 1862. "My paramount, my most important objective in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not either to save or to destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. What I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps to save the Union. Lincoln represents the culmination of the abolitionist movement, and he prevented a permanent schism, splitting, of the United States of America. His morality, however, represents a time long past. See, what Lincoln truly cared about is he saved the Union regardless of the cost. That's Abraham Lincoln. I hope you're learning, and I hope you're having fun. What do you think of Abraham Lincoln? What kind of man was he? Remember, don't judge the past by today's standards. Put yourself into those standards. What choices would you have made if you were alive at that time? Then judge.